Okay guys, I'm now on the guided practice on the top of page 459. And the first problem is Micah wants to use Joanne's recipe to make 9 batches of punch. How many cups of orange juice does he need? And if he uses her recipe called for, if you look back to the visual learning, 2/3 of a cup for each batch. So we know that he wants to make 9 batches. So all we're doing for this one, we're going to still use our 2/3, but this time instead of doing the number that she used, we're going to do 2/3 9 times. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So again, our denominator is 3, so we're going to keep that denominator of 3. And we're just going to do repeated addition: 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. So we have 18/3. Another way to think about it is 2 9 times. 2 times 9, 18. Either way, we end up with 18/3, which we know is an improper fraction. So we want to turn that improper fraction into either a whole number or a mixed number. So again, we're thinking about how many 3's fit into 18, or 18 divided by 3. So I know if I think about my multiplication facts, I can do 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So I get a total of 6. So Micah is using the same recipe. How many cups of orange juice does Micah need? He needs 6 cups of orange juice. Okay, going on to question number 2. Explain why 8 times 3/4 is the same as adding 3/4 plus 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 3/4. Again, it's like this problem that we just did in number 1. We're adding repeated addition 3/4, so we're using the number 3/4, and we're adding it 8 times. 8 times 3/4 will give us the same answer regardless of how we do it. They didn't ask us for an answer, but just in case, we're going to solve anyways, make sure we understand. Again, we're using a denominator of 4 because 4 is my denominator all the way across. I have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. So we have 24/4. And again, we're thinking of how many 4s are in 24, or 24 divided by 4 is what? So I know that 6 times 4 is 24. So again, my answer is 6, same as the previous problem. Okay, for numbers 3 and 4 on the guided practice, they are asking us to use the models that they have given us, and we're going to shade in the models to solve the problems. So we have 3 times 2/3. So we're going to do 2/3 3 times. So the first one is cut into 3 boxes. We're going to shade 2 of them. That's my first 2/3. I'm going to do the same thing for the second one. That's my next 2/3. And I'm going to do the same thing for the third one. So essentially I have 2/3 plus 2/3 plus 2/3, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 2, 4, 6 thirds. And again, I have an improper fraction, so I'm doing 6 divided by 3, or how many 3's are there in 6? And my answer is going to be 2. Now, with a model like this, I can also think of it this way. You see I have an empty space here. If I were to now combine these, I'm going to take one from here, and I'm going to put that one over here. I'm going to take the one from here, and I'm going to put it down here. That's where my 2 comes from. So if I start mixing them up and matching them up, I'm going to first do it the way I did it originally by doing each one 2/3. But then visually, or if I have something like a dry erase board, I can actually move them over so that I can see why it's 2. Okay, and the same thing on number 4. They want me to do 2 times 3/5. So I'm going to do 3/5. It's broken into 5 here. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 out of the 5. That's 1. And 1, 2, 3 out of the 5. That's 2. So my answer to 3/5 plus 3/5 is going to be 6. 3 plus 3, 6 fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 5. 6/5 again is improper. You see that a lot of these are coming out to improper fractions. I'm going to take my 6/5. 5/5 make a whole, so I can do 1 whole, and then I have 1/5 left over. And that's going to be my final answer. The same thing that I did up here where I moved them around, on this one, because I have 2 empty spaces, I can actually take 2 of them out and fill up the 2 up here. That's where my whole number 1 is coming from, and then I'm left with 1/5. That was your guided practice. I want you now to work on the independent practice on your own.